Section 1. And the big idea here is that people form governments, of course, to preserve order, provide security, and accomplish common goals. And really in this chapter we're going to be looking at this at the very specific local level. And so a few terms. Lesson number 1, county. County is one of the most local forms of government that we have. And so the county seat we're right next to here is Hendersonville. County ordinances, what does it mean to form a charter, or even home rule. So the reason it's so important to understand local government is this is the group that you're likely to interact with the most. As your teacher, I am a representative of our local governments. So you've met your Henderson County local government on the daily. So local laws versus state laws. First off, local governments are created by the state. So when Henderson County incorporated, they applied to become a local government from the state of North Carolina. And so there are two basic types of local governments. And this was an answer to the first question there. First off, there are counties. Counties are the largest territorial political subdivision of a state. So there are X amount of counties that make up together the state of North Carolina. But then you can zoom in even further and look at municipalities. So with counties, once more, these are the largest territorial subdivisions of a state. Each county has a county seat. The county seat in Henderson County is obviously Hendersonville. And the county seat is where the courthouse is located. It's right on Main Street. And even though Henderson County is a large place, this is where the county judge presides over any case from Edneyville to Cayuga is going to be heard in Hendersonville. North Carolina has exactly 100 counties. I don't know if it was planned that way or if it just worked out. Not every state has exactly 100, but we do. Next is municipalities. Municipality is either a city, such as the city of Hendersonville, a town, like the town of Flat Rock, or even a village. A village is perhaps the most loosely organized form of local government. For example, I grew up in what could be considered a village. It was called Coker Creek, Tennessee. There is an actual Coker Creek village. We didn't have a local police department. Even Laurel Park has a Laurel Park little police department, right? We didn't. We had a constable. It was basically someone who worked another job that we were supposed to call if there was an emergency. I think they had like CPR training, and that was about as far as they went. So we had a constable and nothing else. There was no mayor of Coker Creek. We were just a village, a loosely organized municipality. Okay, so that's municipalities. What roles do each play? So when it comes to a county, there is a legislative, executive, and even judicial branch within the government. There is county commissioners, there is the local judge, and of course there's Henderson County Sheriff's Department would be kind of the enforcement arm. Counties can raise money through local taxes, and it is the county that decides how to spend the lion's share of our public funds. It was Henderson County that decided to build this school. It was Henderson County that decides about the local stipends for teacher pay. It's Henderson County that decided to get that Chromebook cart for you guys. And Henderson County can also pass ordinances. An ordinance is a law, usually of a city or a county. So once more, an ordinance is basically a law. It cannot contradict an existing state law, but Henderson County does have particular laws that are specific to them. Now, the General Assembly, which is the legislative body of the state of North Carolina, created North Carolina's local government, and they have the authority to decide what responsibilities each local government has. Secondly, we'll zoom in even further. Municipalities. So the municipality of Hendersonville, the municipality of Flat Rock or Edneyville, etc. What does that mean? So there are more than 540 cities in the state of North Carolina. Each of these cities, but there are also towns and villages. Again, those are different designations. Each of them have been incorporated. And so if something has been incorporated, that means that it has received a state charter, that the state officially recognizes the government of that locality. There are parts of this county that are unincorporated. For example, the community of Crab Creek is unincorporated. There is no local government of Crab Creek. They are just part of the larger Henderson County. However, the town or village, whatever Flat Rock calls themselves, has been incorporated. They have received an official charter, and their charter has been recognized by Henderson County. A charter is a written document which grants land and the authority to set up a government. And it functions in the same way as a corporation's charter does. So the charter is the official recognition from the local governing body that this government has the right to form and to pass certain ordinances. Now, someday, let's say you live in Crab Creek. It's nice, it's quiet out there. It's where DuPont is, it's beautiful. It's near where I live. And I'm not terribly concerned with Crab Creek being incorporated because I feel like the larger county government serves our purpose as well. But let's say that our population really takes off. We go from a little farming community called Little River to suddenly bigger buildings, larger population, and complications arise where we may need more services than just what the county itself can provide, in which case we may decide to incorporate, to come together and talk about a local charter that would give us together certain rights and responsibilities. Okay, now some municipalities have what is called a home rule authority. Now, home rule authority means, essentially, that we can write our own charter. We can decide how we want to live and organize. We can choose our own form of government, and we can largely manage our own affairs. For example, even smaller than the community of Crab Creek, I live in the subdivision of Colton's Way. There are about 6 homes on Colton's Way that are a part of our subdivision, and since we live on a gravel road and we're in the middle of nowhere, it's a private road, so we take care of its maintenance. We as a community handle the maintenance of Colton's Way. And because of that, we had to come to some formal agreements. My wife is the treasurer of our little subdivision, and we collect money from every family, and we use that money to manage the road. So I guess I am the local government of, or she is the local government of our little community. And basically we manage our own affairs. How we decide to do the road is our own business. How we decide to make any changes about the housing charter, do you want a blue house versus a red one? Again, we make those decisions locally. Now, cities can expand. Let's say that Henderson County really takes off. It's growing right now, but let's say that it continues to grow. That could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. Whatever it is, it's going to get more complicated. Henderson County may need more room. For example, let's say that the town of Laurel Park is just becoming so huge that it would make more sense to be absorbed into Hendersonville. And so then the town of Hendersonville would absorb the community of Laurel Park, which would now be within the city limits. That's called annexation. That's the process of bringing previously unincorporated land into an existing municipality. Each municipality elects its own governing board. Each municipality elects its own governing board. So, if you are a resident of the city limits of Hendersonville, you have the right to elect the mayor of Hendersonville. If you live in Edneyville, you don't have anything to do with that election, which is why when I go to vote, I go to the Little River Community Center. When you go to vote, you may go to Hendersonville. When you go to vote, you may go to Edneyville. You may go to wherever. Now, the reason that's important is because wherever your polling place is going to have the ballot specific to where you live. If you're in Hendersonville, you'll vote on the mayor. Me, I don't vote on the mayor. I'm just across the line in Transylvania, so I vote for the Transylvania School Board, county commissioners, etc. I don't actually get to vote for any of these. Now, some counties use what's called a professional manager. This is someone that's hired. In fact, I know for a fact Transylvania County uses a professional manager. They're not elected, they are hired by the county commissioners. And they are basically the enforcement arm, the executor of that county. Now, the elections themselves of whatever governing board is democratically elected, which in our case is the county commissioners, that governing board may be a district. It may be called at large. At large is a formal term referring to the election for an area as a whole, maybe even statewide. Or then finally, it could be a combination of local or statewide. Now, most municipalities in North Carolina have a mayor. There is probably a mayor of Flat Rock. There is probably a mayor of Edneyville. There is certainly a mayor of Hendersonville. North Carolina mayors are not necessarily responsible for administering their municipal government. For example, in Henderson County, there is a council manager system. That is the county commissioners. So the county commissioners approve the extra funding necessary to get you those Chromebooks. The county commissioners approved the extra funding to erect this building. The mayor of Hendersonville doesn't have to make those types of decisions. One better than the other. It kind of depends on the size and population of each county.